Welcome to a new video. Today we're going to rank Premier League pundits as players. These guys certainly talk a good game now, or at least some of them do, but how good were they on the pitch? Obviously this is subjective and definitely just my opinion, so if you disagree, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I've also only included pundits who played in the 2000s and 2010s. Obviously there were great players before then, but they are not included here. Let's start our countdown. This is actually a lot more difficult than I imagined. In 10th, I've gone with Jamie O'Hara. He started his career out with Tottenham, but didn't really make the grade there. He bounced around a little before making his way to Wolves, where he was relegated down to League One in consecutive seasons. That seems a consistent theme in his career. I remember him at Fulham during the 15-16 season, where we almost got relegated down to League One ourselves. He's now working at talkSPORT. Next, I've gone with Jermaine Jenas. I don't have anything against Tottenham, I promise. I just personally thought he was a bit of an average football player. His best achievement probably was winning the 02-03 PFA Young Player of the Year award. By the time of his retirement in 2014, he played for 5 teams, including Newcastle and Tottenham. Gabby Agbonlahor. If you ever fancy hearing some strange footballing opinions, definitely tune into this guy's radio show on talkSPORT. He'd spent 13 years with Aston Villa before retiring in 2018. His best season came in 2010 though, when he finished with 16 goals in 46 games. Helping the club finish 6th in the Premier League. Next, I've gone for Robbie Savage. All in all, the Welshman spent 13 years in the Premier League. His most notable performance was probably getting headbutted by Dion Dublin in the derby with Aston Villa in 2003. He did manage to win the League Cup in 2000 though for Leicester City. Mick of Richards. Personally, I quite enjoy the CBS Champions League coverage with him and Jamie Carragher. In 2006 though, he was with Man City, a team who he'd spend a decade with. He played 29 matches in their first Premier League winning season in 2011-12. Injuries definitely affected him though, as over the last 5 years of his career, he only made 50 appearances. In 5th, I've gone for Chris Sutton. He played for 5 Premier League teams during his career. His best form though was probably with Blackburn Rovers, who helped win the Premier League in 1995. 3 seasons later, he also won the Premier League Golden Boot, finishing the season with 18 goals in 35 matches. Outside of England, he also had a decent spell with Celtic where he won 4 league titles. Since retirement, he also managed Lincoln City. In 4th, I've gone for Gary Neville. With these remaining players, I do want to emphasise I am a Fulham fan, so I'm not that invested in the Liverpool-Man United rivalry. But Neville was obviously a very good player. Personally, I've placed him here though, on the basis that I think the players ranked above him were more impactful in their teams than he was. Neville spent his entire career with United, before retiring in 2011 as an 8-time Premier League champion. Next, I've gone with Paul Scholes. Another who'd spent his entire career with Manchester United. He finished as an 11-time Premier League champion. It's a shame he decided to retire from England at the age of 29, as without a doubt he would have been useful in the 2006 and 2010 World Cups. Since retiring, he's had managerial spells with Oldham and Salford City. Next, I've gone for Jamie Carragher. In 2006, he was in his prime at Liverpool. Despite doing well in Europe, that team just didn't have enough quality to challenge for a Premier League title. He'd spent his entire career on Merseyside, all in all making 737 appearances. He retired in 2013. But let's move on to number 1. I've gone for Roy Keane. Whilst he was definitely not the most technical of players, he was probably the most important player in Manchester United's dominance during the 1990s and 2000s. He left the club in 2006 having won 17 trophies. Since retiring, he's had managerial spells with Sunderland and Ipswich Town. That draws our countdown to a close. What do you guys think though? Who would you have put at number 1? Let me know in the comments section. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.